sweet if you tell John that you think you're a bigger Kingston Trio fan than he is. With that in mind, as a matter of fact, John produced, is it Snapshot? What Snapshot? That's a great double live album.
Along with Alan Shaw.
Along with Alan Shaw last year that came out terrific. If you haven't heard it, it's one of the best live trio recordings ever. But John is the Kingston Trio fan of all time, and we wanted to honor him. He's not a camper, but everybody who's been involved with this camp or with the Bloodliners and the Bloodliners Convention knows what the trio means to John Lee. So, Peter, we've asked Peter to help us out. Peter, of course, a huge fan on his own, and I asked him to read this.
What an honor to be able to do this for John. I don't know what this is going to say, but I know what the idea is. In recognition, John Lee, of your longtime devotion to and appreciation of the Kingston Trio, the organizers and staff of Trio Fantasy Camp have selected you to be the recipient of a rare and fully authenticated official shirt worn in concert by Bob Shane, John Stewart, or Nick Reynolds in their final public appearances in the spring of 1967. Presented with all the best wishes to John Triofan Lee at Fantasy Camp 9, August 16, 2008. Dig it, dude.
This note, I was the last road manager for what the Kingston Trio fans refer to as the Nick, Bob, and John Trio, which ended in 1967 with an engagement at San Francisco's Hungry Eyed nightclub. This shirt was worn regularly during those last years in television appearances, concerts, and most notably in shows recorded at the Sahara Tahoe, which were released on the Once Upon a Time album in the final weeks of the Hungry Eyed. Kingston Trio shirts were purchased mainly at two locations, Johnson and Gray Men's Shop in Sausalito, or Matson's in Hollywood, although part of the road manager's standard instructions were to always be on the lookout for brightly colored striped shirts to use on stage. We used perhaps a half dozen colors and patterns of shirts in rotation at that time, and only a few have survived. Georgiana.
Wow. No way.
This means just a great deal to me. It really does. Thank you so very much.
Now, if you do us a favor, then you read this, if you would. I asked him to go back and get really cheesed off. I asked him to go back and get his reading glasses. He's well equipped here.
Yeah, I got every different magnification on it.
This is all a surprise to everybody.
Including me, I have no idea.
And Peter.
This is just marvelous.
Take a shot at that, bud.
In recognition of your longtime devotion to and appreciation of the Kingston Trio, organizers and staff of the Trio Fantasy Camp have selected you to be the recipient of the rare and fully authenticated official shirt worn in concert by Bob Shane, John Stewart, or Nick Reynolds. In their final public appearance in the spring of 1967. Presented with all the best wishes to Pete Overland.
We have George's letter in there that also goes with that.
You'll know who wore it by the size of the shirt.
No, they're all medium. I think that's the odd thing. I think all the trio shirts were mediums.
Not always.
Everyone I've seen is medium. Right, George? Something different.
By small, medium, large.
small, you know? It's a little tiny gown, it's really a little tiny one.
I'll wear those tonight. I don't care if the buttons pop off or I don't care what.
That's what I call fun. Two truly deserving guys, and you won't find two bigger fans of the trio than these two guys. So thank you, thank the camp for doing this. We now, speaking of camp, and perhaps we should get to those campers, huh? Dr. Letter? Yep. Okay, if we could get the record number of campers, come on up on stage and let's get this loose up.